Hi Rohit, welcome to Madlookz VFX podcast. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So, how is work going on?
Work is going pretty busy right now.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean the usual stuff. It's pretty fun.
Great. So,
I'm really happy to be on your channel. I've been following you for quite some time,
thank
and
you.
yeah, thanks for inviting me.
No problem. It's my pleasure, man. So, yeah. So, first of all, can you give us a casual intro about yourself?
Sure, yeah. So I've been in this VFX industry for almost 7 years now, 7.5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I work on mostly Hollywood films
Yeah.
and some games and some freelance stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
But my majority of my focus has been in Hollywood.
Okay.
And my journey started after I finished my engineering. Like that was like a couple of years back,
Okay. So,
right?
you're coming from an engineering background. Awesome, man.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey. Like I mean, in India, it's a saying that you first become an engineer or a doctor,
Yeah.
and then you decide what you want in life.
Yeah.
That literally happened with me. That was my case.
Yeah. That's a generation thing.
Yeah, I know. It's been like I mean now I see a lot of youngsters, like a lot of new generation people are literally going for their passion in India.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy to see that. But back in those days, like no one thought of making career in
Of course.
like in VFX or something related to art, like because people think that it doesn't make money,
Yes,
you know.
of course.
So that was like a big thing for me at that point. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
big life changing decision I had to make. So the journey started right after I finished my engineering, and I had some time before I started working for a job.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided, okay, let me dive into like what VFX is and what animation is. So I did like a small 2 months VFX course. Like it was not even a VFX, you can say it was like just a Photoshop
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sketching course.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, luckily I found this amazing mentor, or you can say a guru.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I met this person called as Shakti sir
Mm-hmm.
at Frameworks Washi. I think it was pretty new at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like a turning point in my life, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me basically a dream to become a matte painter. He,
Oh,
he saw my technical background and he saw my art potential.
yeah.
I was terrible artist before, but he
Yeah.
literally saw it. Okay, you have a potential and you have a technical background. Why don't you try becoming a matte painter? Or
Mm-hmm.
you're an environment artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea what matte painting was at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally used to think like the things I see in movies were real for some reason. I thought it was
Uh-huh.
sex.
Uh-huh.
But then I saw things like Avatar or Jurassic World. It's like totally, like totally out
Yeah.
of this world. Some
Yeah.
super alien landscapes. I was like, wow, okay, that's fucking insane. Yeah, I want
Yeah.
to do this. And so that's how it started for me.
Uh-huh.
And then I still, like after finishing that course, I still ended up doing uh, work as a software engineer for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
The reason why I did that was because I am not a person who takes like super crazy risks. I don't believe in taking like random
Mm-hmm.
risks. I believe in taking calculated risks.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like I measure my possibilities and then very calculatively I will take decisions.
Okay. Nice.
So that's what I did. Like I literally worked. I kept working as a software engineer, but over the weekends and sometimes after work, I started practicing my painting skills. Like
Mm-hmm.
some
Mm-hmm.
some small little matte paintings, some stuff, some 3D stuff, a little bit. And then I found out this online community of matte painters,
Mm-hmm.
and then there is so much going on. There was CG Talk, CG Tantra. They started hosting competitions,
Yeah.
online
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah.
So I started taking parts in them, and I even won few of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, now this might get somewhere, right? Like, I mean, I'm happy and I enjoy doing these paintings, and I want to do this for a career, maybe. So there it started, like a little spark in my head, and then I started enhancing my skills more and more. And
Mm-hmm.
finally, after 3 years of working as a software developer, I decided, okay, no, I want to be an artist now.
Yeah.
So that's when I decided to professionally like do this. I came to Canada, did a
Mhm.
1-year course at Van Arts, and
Mhm.
then luckily I like got a job very easily, and here I am today, working on my
Awesome.
dream.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. So you didn't work any studios in over there in India?
No, not in India. Like, I mean, now I have helped some studios as a
Uh-huh.
freelance artist
Uh-huh.
on concepts and some stuff, like some counseling and stuff, but not like major Bollywood films or anything.
Mhm.
Not
Nice,
yet.
man. Yeah. So yeah, moving on to the next question. What sort of work does a 3D generalist or a digital matte artist basically do in a company?
Right.
Lots of juniors and even me don't know much about this stuff. So yeah.
Mhm. So I think this is like a most common question I get like a lot of
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
So I wanna make sure that I give like proper information to all the people out there who are looking for, like there's a lot of confusion, like uh, what's the difference between a matte painting position and environment artist position or a
Yeah.
3D generalist position.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see job openings at the moment, there will be different titles.
Mm-hmm.
Like there will be title like matte painter
Yeah.
or a 3D matte painter,
Mm-hmm.
or you'll find stuff like Digi-matte artist
Yeah.
or environment artist
Yeah.
or 3D generalist.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on studio to studio and depends on pipeline, what pipeline the studio is following.
Mm-hmm.
Some studios will have two different departments. Like for example, I would say I think some studios will have a separate matte painting department which handles the 2D part, like like big ass paintings or doing some paint overs on top of 3D.
Mm-hmm.
So that's their major responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And they will have a separate department. Could be an environment artist department, or it could be 3D generalist, and they would
Mm-hmm.
handle the 3D part, asset making, lighting, and
Yeah.
those kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what I suggest, like at least at ILM,
Mm-hmm.
both these departments are combined, and
Okay.
it is called as 3D generalist.
Okay.
Yeah, and the history of ILM has been like, initially it was called as Digi-matte department, which
Mm-hmm.
was like a digital matte painters, and they were mostly focused on a projection based pipeline,
Mm-hmm.
where you do a big ass painting and then you project it on different cards or different
Yeah.
geometries
Yeah.
to make it look realistic. Like, yeah, that was the pipeline before. But now, because the shots have become more challenging and the requirements of the camera moves we have in the new movies, like this insane, like the camera coming from outside the planet and then goes
Got it.
inside, so much motion and stuff. So it's going to be hard to do it with just matte painting now.
Mm-hmm.
It's the quality is more demanding.
Yeah.
Like the competition is getting more intense, so it's getting more and more 3D now. you
Mm-hmm.
know in
Yeah.
fact in fact I would say at ILM I do 80% of the times I do 3D, and just 20% of the times I go to Photoshop and touch
Okay.
2D stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the major difference between these different titles. But for students, for newcomers, right,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest you guys to literally don't neglect any of those. Study both 2D and 3D,
Mm-hmm.
because then you will have so many openings. Like every studio will have an opening for like 2D artist or a 3D artist, but you will be qualified to do any of those. You know what I mean? So you
Mm-hmm.
will basically have a wide range of opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Like to have both in your skill set.
Got it. Got it. Generally, I was thinking like, okay, matte painting artist, we need only Photoshop.
Yeah, I mean
So,
that's how it was before. I'm not
yeah.
lying. Like I
Yeah.
think so. My first job right out of school was at MPC. That was just for 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a single department called as 3D matte painters, 3D matte painting department. But we had both uh, 2D artists and 3D artists. But there are some artists who could do both. So I was like very fascinated with that. Like people who can do both are like very much in demand, right? Everyone wants that.
Yeah.
Everyone wants more skill set.
Got
So
it.
generalist is getting like more common now. Like
Yeah.
a lot of studios are demanding generalist these days.
Got it.
So yeah, it would be a good target to have, like both 3D and 2D skill set in your
Yeah.
reel.
So, we all are living in a new era,
Yeah.
and in between all these COVID things. So,
Mhm.
how does pandemic affected your work? Can you
Right.
tell us your experience with the, I would say, new work from home work style? Yeah.
Right. Right. So, to be honest, I'll tell you honestly, when this pandemic started, I literally hated working from home. I genuinely, I was like, I wanted to go to work because
Yeah.
there are a lot of issues at the beginning, like, like the IT was having tough time, like
Mhm. Got it.
having this sudden transition. My
Yeah.
network speed was having issue,
Mm-hmm.
and after so many, trials and errors, we started having a really good, solid connection.
Mm-hmm.
And then after, of course, like after like a month or so, I got so used to it. Like, like I would, yeah. Now I do not want to go back to work. I just literally want to sit at home and work at home.
Yeah.
But the only problem is, I think I'm working way more than before. I feel,
Oh.
but I feel have become way more productive as well,
Yeah.
because I have more time, I have more clear sense of, like sitting at home, you have this more time in your hands, in
Yeah.
general, so you can also focus on a lot of other things, not just work. You can spend time on your hobbies. You're saving traveling time. I started
Mm.
cooking. I started going more to the gym, and these
Yeah.
things changed in my style of work. I mean, these things will also affect your work, right? Like when you start taking care of your food, start taking care of your health,
Mm.
it will automatically affect your other areas of life,
Yeah.
including your work.
Got it.
Yeah, I think that has been a major change.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty happy working from home.
Like, what's your favorite hobby that you like to do in your free time?
My free time. So
I know one of that is definitely digital matte painting or painting at least.
yes, definitely. I was gonna say that. Like, I know that's what I do for work, like painting and sketching and sculpting. I that's my full time job. But I really enjoy it so much that I literally do it in my free time as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes literally after hours I would sit at home and I'll be working on my personal artworks. I'm constantly doing some or the other artwork in my free time. Like that's my like go to hobby, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, I like dancing a lot.
Oh,
That's like
nice.
my, yeah, I love to dance. So
Mm-hmm.
if people ask me a lot of times, what would you have done if you were not a matte painter or whatnot? I would
Uh-huh.
say I would have been something related to dance. Like
Uh-huh.
may not be dancer, but something related to entertainment maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also like it's
Is
not
there
much
any specific dance form? Like, what sort of dance?
just random and just popping, locking, just break dance. I like all of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Nice.
mean, before pandemic, it was like I would love going to parties and
Yeah.
nightclubs and dancing, and this was my lifestyle before. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
like a huge change, but I'm enjoying this as well. It's not like I'm not enjoying it,
Got
but
it.
dancing has reduced a bit. After pandemic.
Yeah. Now you can we can dance at home.
I mean, I do that. I totally do that, but it's just, yeah, I'm like not outside. I don't get to show my dancing skills. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like super shameless when it comes to dancing or whatnot. I would be the first person on the dance floor.
Yeah. We can free up our mind, right?
Yeah, totally. I think it's a way to express yourself, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And then I also like I recently started doing gym seriously because, as I said, like after pandemic, that has been a big shift. I
Mm-hmm.
started cooking at home,
Mm-hmm.
like doing proper meals. I hired a trainer,
Mm-hmm.
and then he started counting my calories, like my
Calories, yeah.
macros. So, oh my,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was fun time.
Yeah.
Not exactly fun, but
So,
and other than that, I would say not my hobby as such, but
mhm.
uh, meditation and yoga. That's like
Mhm.
a part of my life. It's like I sometimes I don't shower. I will be honest with you. Sometimes I don't feel like showering in the morning,
Uh-huh.
but I would do meditation. That's must. That's a must for me. You know.
Mhm.
So I meditate at least an hour every day because I
Awesome,
think,
man.
yeah, that helps me a lot overall
Mhm.
in my life. That has helped me a lot in making decisions, having a better intuition. having more creative sense. So that this is what I feel is like
Yeah.
my self improvement part of me, like my hobby, I would say. But
Yeah.
yeah, like my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Having a general peace, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, okay. So, something related to your work again. Which softwares are mostly used, and what is the purpose of that software in your work?
Right. Uh, so when it comes to softwares, right, like for an environment artist or for a 3D generalist, the software
Mm-hmm.
is the software keeps changing. There's no like I cannot say for sure that the software I'm using right now will be the same software in the pipeline after 6 months. I cannot guarantee that. So I mean, I will tell you what softwares I use at the moment at ILM, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we basically use 3ds Max for our major pipeline tool for environment art,
Mm-hmm.
and Clarice. These two are like our major pipeline tools. But other than that, we like we do like modeling, texturing, lighting, rendering, whatever we want in Max mostly. And we use ZBrush for sculpting, the usual thing, right? Like ZBrush for sculpting. Then we use Speed Tree for modeling trees,
Mm-hmm.
and we use bunch of other terrain design softwares like uh, TerraGen. Then there is View,
View.
and there is a bunch of new things like like World Machine, and then there's new thing called Gaia. So there
Okay.
is no limitations of how many softwares you can use, and there is no restrictions as such. Like
Mm-hmm.
we don't have a restriction like, oh, you have to do it in this software. Yes, of course
Oh.
the final output is going to be in the pipeline tool, like either in Max or Clarice.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we are free to use whatever we want, whatever helps.
Got
Of course, we are using Photoshop as well. That's like the standard for
it.
every other studio out there.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, rather than talking about software, I would say for for juniors or for new starters, I would say if you are seriously thinking about becoming a 3D generalist or a matte painter,
Mm-hmm.
stop looking at things as 2D and 3D. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't see them as 2D and 3D. I literally get the shot from a client,
Mm-hmm.
and then all I think about is how I can make the shot look really, really good. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then I don't see it as like, okay, it is 3D or 2D. No, it's as soon as I get the camera, I see the
Mm-hmm.
motion, I
Mm-hmm.
see if it can be done quickly using a 2D approach.
Okay.
And if not, I will use a 3D approach. Simple. It's that simple. And then whatever software you want to use, do it. Just have a good hold on one 3D software,
Mm-hmm.
because the concept in every 3D software is same. It's the
Okay.
same thing. It's not going to change. What matters is your observation skills and your experience, your eye. Your eye is
Mm-hmm.
what that matters, right? In VFX in general.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
So I would say, yeah, that should be your mindset, right?
Yeah.
Don't think of it as just 2D and 3D. Just see it as a environment art. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah. So you guys don't use Maya?
Uh, you are allowed to use it. It's not like you cannot use it, but the pipeline is not in Maya. The final rendering tool is in Max or in Clarice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why Maya is an option, but you'll have to finally model or do whatever UVs and stuff in Maya and then bring it to Max or Clarice.
Mm,
Yeah,
got it.
that's
Got
going
it.
to be the pipeline at ILM.
Got it. So, can you tell us more about those outstanding works in Behance or an ArtStation?
Right.
I checked all those works, and to be frank, those works are really awesome. So, I would like to hear about that works. Yeah.
First of all, really, thank you. I appreciate that.
Got it.
Uh, I would say I'm not exactly sure which works you're referring to, but
I'm sure you put a lot of effort on that work because it looks like that.
yeah, I mean, so I'm assuming you're talking about my personal artworks, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So as I said, like that's like my hobby, right? I'm sometimes I'm working overtime at work, and then I go home and still do a personal work.
Yeah.
That's how much I love doing environments. You know what I mean? So I would say it's not literally an effort for me. It's just for fun. I don't do it as like, okay, it's not like, oh, I want to finish this or something. I just do it for fun on the side. Uh, and yeah, I mean, uh, how do I say? It's like,
But all those rendered results don't look like a hobby, a output from hobby. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, I know what
It
you mean.
looks so professional. Yeah,
That's because I don't show my poor works. I just show my best stuff.
yeah,
I
got
believe
it.
in doing that too. I don't usually. I mean, there's nothing wrong in doing that,
Yeah.
but I usually try to post a certain level of finished works online, and
Mhm.
I have tons of unfinished works at home, which I start and then I never finish. You know, I have like 10, 12 ongoing works right now, but
Oh.
I still have to finish those, but I haven't posted them. But yeah, I mean, I just enjoy doing it, so it's not like a separate task for me.
Yeah, got it. So, so here in this podcast, we generally have audience from all departments, not
Right.
specific to any departments.
Mhm.
So, definitely there might be lighters or matte painters watching this podcast.
Right.
So, is there any knowledge, I would say, tips for those junior matte painters or lighters watching this podcast?
Okay. I think I know what you mean. So, I mean, there is no shortcut as such, like for tips, as like I cannot give you like a crash course or something.
Yeah.
First important step would be finding out what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I cannot stress it enough, but this is like the most important step in,
Mm,
according to me, like, you
yeah.
know, in getting into this industry, because this industry is all about passion. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't have enough passion, you won't survive, I feel, or you
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing some average job or whatnot, you know.
Of course. Yeah.
So that would be my first tip, like, just know what you want, like, and then the next question is, how would you know, right? Like, how would you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
that's like a biggest like, I spent like 3 years, as I told you, like,
Yeah.
doing a software engineer job and understanding what I really want, you know. And but by the time those 3 years ended, I was very certain that matte painting is what I want.
Hmm.
Not compositing, not modeling, not anything else. Exactly environments. That's how sure I was, you know.
Hmm.
And that's what I stuck with my entire course. What the school I did here, I stuck with matte painting, you know. So one of the ways to find out your passion, I would say, I
Hmm.
think this is a question for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone goes through this phase in life, and I still go through this phase because our interests keep changing, right? We want
Yeah.
to grow, we
Yeah.
want some different passion.
Yeah.
uh, so for me, it's meditation.
Got it.
Right away, like, I literally close my eyes, sit quietly, and go deep within yourself to understand what you really want. And once this first step gets cleared out, everything else falls in place, you know.
Hmm.
This tip is the most important tip. Everything else will fall in place. And then you can have, like, for for um, for a matte painter, I can give tips. For example, I would say you can start with something small, right?
Hmm.
When you're starting, don't jump on something totally big, like, you know, like a few. Okay, I want to become a matte painter. I'm going to do this super crazy sci-fi city, and I'm going to do like the biggest city anyone has ever seen. No,
Hmm.
you don't just jump into something like that and then expect a good result right away, right?
Yeah.
So, for not just for matte painters, I would say for any department, start with something really small, you know, something
Hmm.
like, for example, if people ask me how do I start, right? For a matte painter, I would say, go outside, go outside and take a walk, take
Hmm.
some boring street corner,
Hmm.
or like a park maybe. Just take a nice photo, bring it home,
Hmm.
and add something small in that photo, you
Hmm.
know. It's like, maybe like just extend a building, or maybe put like a cycle or like a vehicle in the photo.
Hmm.
But when you put something in, or when you remove something from the photo, maybe
Hmm.
it should be so good that I shouldn't be able to tell the difference, what is added and
Hmm.
what is not added. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, photo fucking real.
Hmm.
That's 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 what you should go for at the beginning.
Hmm.
Because I'll tell you what happens. This is the problem I faced when I was starting out as a matte painter.
Hmm.
And I mean, when I was doing it by myself, right? When no one
Yeah.
was guiding me, I was just doing it for fun.
Mm-hmm.
So if I tell you right now, if you go on Google and type matte painting, right, you will have tons of results,
Yeah.
But I will tell you only 10 or 20% of those results will qualify as a matte painting, literally. And
Yeah.
everything else is just like a concept art, or like a uh, like people add like a lot of stuff in their images, and then it doesn't match, it doesn't look real. So photoreal is the first thing, photoreal is like the basic necessity for a matte painter.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else comes later. Concept, look depth, everything comes later. First is photorealism.
Yeah.
If you can do that, then you can start doing something more complex. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you can start with once you do this photoreal edition in your photo, you can
Mm-hmm.
start doing maybe you can model an asset and put
Mm-hmm.
that asset in a plate,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and make it like match the lighting 100%. Just add
Mm-hmm.
like a tiny building in the back. It's okay when you're
Mm-hmm.
starting. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but it should look like a photo. Even the grain should match, not just photo. Like the grain should match, the black level should match. So
Mm-hmm.
you're also like kind of compositing in the environment.
Yeah.
The grading, the colors, the depth, the atmospheric haze, all this should match in such a way that it should blend in the image.
Mm.
So that would be my next tip for people who are starting up. You know, and then of course, like I personally, uh, like
One
I
one important thing I feels like
right,
I'm not sure is it is that important or not, but perspective is the thing which every matte painter should have an eye, right?
right, definitely. So that's a very good point, actually. Yeah. So this could be like beginner's tip, right? Like,
Yeah.
so when I said, like, when I told you to add something like a building, like an
That
extended building or something,
got it.
for
Yeah.
that you need a really good perspective knowledge. If
Mm.
you want to make it look believable, you need a perspective knowledge. You need atmospheric perspective, as I said before.
Yeah.
Then there is lighting, of course, should match. So there are a lot of these small little tools. Perspective is a tool, right? It's a tool. It's a tool
Mm-hmm.
to make an image work and look
Mm-hmm.
real in terms of scale and everything else. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with your point. That could be like a beginner's tool, which every Mac painter has to know. Right? There's
Mm. Yeah.
no escape there.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot more to it, of
Okay.
course. I mean,
Got
we
it.
cannot discuss everything right now. I mean, I don't want to take like 20 hours of your time and talk everything in this session. We can
Yeah.
make another call maybe in future.
Sure. Sure.
But I would say, uh, yeah, definitely there are like tons and tons of amazing content online now. For
Mm.
free. Some of them are for free. Like a
Mm.
lot of artists on ArtStation and Gumroad and all these websites, they are putting free stuff online, and some of them are
Mm.
streaming live. You can just
Mm.
join them, talk to them, ask them questions, and I see this happening more and more now. Back in those days, we didn't have much
Nothing. Yeah.
platform like this, right? We literally have Norman DVDs,
Yeah.
or some artists here and there did like really good tutorials.
Some effects based stuff.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah. But now it's like hundreds of tutorial online. Now it's like, now the problem is which one you want to do.
Yeah.
Which one is good? Like, because there's tons of resources, and I don't know which one is good, which one is legit.
Yeah.
Because anyone can make a tutorial now, right?
Got it.
You have to know which one is good too.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, you can learn so much by just um, searching on Google.
Uh,
Yeah, literally.
got it. So yeah. So I think you answered this question, but I'm just asking you once once more. So how you stay motivated and creative during those stressful days?
Right.
After all, we are human, and stress became common part of life nowadays.
Right.
So how you are staying motivated and creative also?
Yeah, I mean, I think you already know what I'm going to say now.
Yeah.
But I would say again, say like first thing, meditation in the
Got it.
morning. Meditation, yoga. It's going to clear out your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and it has literally shifted my creative skills to a next level. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like I'm like some genius or something. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that what I was few years back, and now what I see my skill levels are at right now. There is
Mm-hmm.
a humongous difference. I know that, and that majority of it is coming from uh, my my skills to be clear
Mm.
about. When I say clear, I mean like, okay, for example, having an image in your head,
Mhm.
having something, some creative idea in your head,
Mhm.
and the process of transmitting that image on a paper or on a desktop or on a Photoshop
Mhm.
uh, file, like that transition process
Mhm.
becomes way more clear when you
Mhm.
start meditating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna help to a next level. It's like it's gonna help in other parts of your life. It's gonna help in your health, in your charisma. Everything changes. Your
Yeah.
personality changes slowly. So that definitely is a thing which helps me keep away from stress.
Mhm.
Manage stress is a weird word for me. I mean, I don't believe in managing stress. I mean, why
Mhm.
would I manage stress, right?
Yeah.
But I would say it helps me with stress,
Mm.
and of course, like my first point, my first tip I gave was finding out what you want, right? Really what you want. So when you are doing what you really love, you know
Mhm. Mhm.
stress is hardly an issue, believe
Of
me.
course. Yeah.
Like it's
Got it.
like, yeah, when you enjoy, like as I said, like sometimes I'm doing overtime and still go back home and start doing my personal works. Like people would be like, are you fucking insane? Like, I mean, why would you do the same thing after going home? Like you would rest, right? Like, but no, it's that level of enjoyment is like, I mean, the enjoyment I'm getting from painting sometimes is way more than, doing other things in my life sometimes,
Got it.
so stress is like very small factor, to be honest, when you enjoy what you do.
I agree to this because people used to ask me why you are doing all this YouTube stuff. Back in India, I was working like morning 9 to some days it will go like 10, 12.
Wow.
Then also I used to I used to make videos, I used to make tutorials. But people used to wonder like how you are not getting stressed because of spending so much time in. But I the same thing which you tell, like that's my passion. I likes to make content. I likes to
Right.
make tutorials. I likes to make videos. I like to speak with you for this podcast, and all these things are like
Yeah,
I consider this as my passion. So I never used to get stressed out of these things at least. So yeah, I agree to the point which you told.
that's amazing, man. Like, I mean, no, that's brilliant. Like, I think, um, yeah, I mean, you already are managing stress to a next level, I would say. I think way more than me. I think I would have really hard time making videos and stuff, but I have seen your videos, like couple of videos, and I've been following
Yeah.
you. I see how much effort you have put into it, you know, and that's why I'm super excited to be here today and talking with you right now. So
Got it, got it. So yeah. So which are some of your favorite movies or books or websites which you like to suggest to the audience? Uh, yeah,
right, I mean, so when you say books and movies and stuff, like, are you referring books related to my artworks or
books
related?
related to matte painting stuff.
Right, right, right,
Yeah.
right. I mean, I'll be super honest here. Okay. I am not a reader. I mean, I like after engineering, after I've completed my engineering, I have hardly touched any
Books.
books. Like, I mean, I have touched few, like when it comes to like meditation and stuff. Like, I mean, I have read some books, but I am more of a visual person.
Mm.
I like, I would rather listen to an audiobook, or I would listen to YouTube videos or TED Talks. So those help me way more than like reading books. I mean, I'm just too lazy to read books, to be honest. So
And even I think meditation is kind of a reading only, right?
kind of, you can say, like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
reading yourself sort of in meditation.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say, if I had to suggest a book, like I think that's one of the books I have gone through, and it was really, really, really helpful in terms of improving my skill set. I would
Mm-hmm.
say this book called Color and Light by James Gurney.
Mm-hmm.
That one has been really good. I haven't read the entire book, but whatever concepts I have read in there, it was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but other than that, I just like looking at the tutorials online, or I would go back to old Norman DVDs like from Dylan Cole
Mm-hmm.
or Duso, these legendary artists which I've been following for years. And so that's my style, like more than books. books or movies and stuff. And sometimes I don't even watch movies I worked on because it's just terrible. Like I don't want to watch that movie and waste my time because I know it's terrible. So I literally, but yeah, but at the same time, there have been movies like Avatar, right? For example, that was like a big life-changing movie, right? Like it's like, and when I saw it, I was so amazed by it. Like I was like, I literally have seen that movie tons of times, and I've paused on so many frames to under, like even Lord of the Rings, right? When I see those ancient like traditional matte paintings, they look like paintings now, but they're still so beautiful. It just works even till date, you know. So I see those kind of movies again and again, these classics, just to get a sense of like, just from a learning point of view, you know, not for the story, but for learning. I would refer to the lighting there. I would refer to how they have composed the image, how they have, how they are drawing users' attention into the image. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot to learn from these movies.
Yeah.
So
how excited?
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. No problem.
I was saying I would go for these classics. You know.
Got it.
Definitely.
So I was just like thinking, how excited are you to watch the second part of Avatar?
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my god, I cannot even imagine. It's like, so the Avatar's co-production designer. There's a story behind this, right? So I'll tell you briefly, but Avatar's co-production designer, Dylan Cole. Like, I am such a huge fan of this guy. Oh my god, like he's responsible for majority of those like environments and the look devs, which was done. Those flying islands and stuff, like he was a production designer in that. So definitely he had a major contribution in it. And I have seen his journey. Like, if you ask me who I look up to, in this profession, I would say he would be the guy, him and Duso and these guys. And I have like, that's why I have so much attachment to Avatar. It's like literally a life-changing movie for me, because this guy is a genius, and he's still working on the second part, and he's working on the second part, third part, fourth part, all of them. He's been booked, because he defines it. He defines that look, and I was like, I'm just literally waiting desperately.
Yeah.
I cannot contain my joy, when I talk about Avatar.
Understood. So yeah. Also, is there any websites or blogs you regularly follows?
I do follow ArtStation a lot. It's like it has become like a major thing for all the artists. I feel like everyone is connected there. Most of the artists have an ArtStation account now. And I mean, I'm hosting my website through ArtStation now, because I had a separate website before, but I just literally use ArtStation now for that.
Yeah.
And the platform is pretty nice, and they always show trending artworks. There's a section called as trending artworks, where you keep getting the best ones, like the artworks which are trending right now, and you can right away see like tons of amazing artworks and get motivated instantly. The drawback is there is so much amazing things out there, and you start feeling, oh wow, okay, I'm not good enough now. I want to become better. But it might demotivate a lot of people. So you have to always keep that in mind. Like, you have a learning attitude in life rather than earning attitude. Like learning over earning. That's what I would say.
Understood. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely ArtStation. Behance is a good one too.
Got it.
I would say. And like, people are posting artworks on Facebook, Instagram these days. And if you're a freelance artist, I would say post your works on all of these different mediums, because of these so many mediums, it's very easy to show your visibility in the industry.
Got it.
So it's definitely, you should make use of it.
Got it.
100%.
Yeah. So my next question, I think this question also you answer most part, but I would like to hear if anything else is there. So 5 tips for a junior who wants to follow your path, specifically your path, like matte painting and all the stuff. So this could be your success mantras also.
So yeah, I mean, as I said before, first thing would be like knowing what you want, like deciding what you want. Okay, so now the artist knows, in this case, that he wants to become a matte painter. Once you know that that's what you want, then, as I said before, start doing something simple. Like like super simple tasks like set extensions, extending something boring in your scene. Uh, and then next step would be learning both 3D and 2D. Like, as we discussed before, there are different job profiles, like, environment art, Digi-matte, 3D generalist. You can target all of these. So that would be my next tip, that using both your 2D and 3D skills and working on both of them. Yeah, and then I would say, like, this is a tip for life, okay, not just for matte painter or even just for a VFX artist.
Career, yeah.
So I would say, like, a lot of times we have this big tasks in life, right? Like something which is really complicated in front of you, right? So I came across this really interesting TED talk. It is called as the first 20 hours. First 20 hours, learn anything in first 20 hours. Like, it doesn't mean that you master something in 20 hours, but there's a book on it. The author talks about it in his talk. He says that how we can tackle a big task and how we can learn new skills right away. Right. So this is useful for of course, all parts of your life, but especially for a matte painter, because as we discussed about softwares before, like, we have like tons of softwares, right? Like, it's changing all the time. New technology is coming in all the time. So how do you tackle this thing? How do you learn these new softwares all the time? So I would say, I don't personally focus on learning softwares. I don't think, okay, oh, there's a new software, Clarice, let me take its user manual or whatever. Like, I learn all the fucking 200 pages and then start working on Clarice. No, that's not gonna help you, because it, like, as soon as you finish learning Clarice, there's gonna be another software. So the reason why I mentioned this book is because it tells you how to learn something new within 20 hours. Like, it doesn't mean you're going to master it. It just tells you how you're going to learn it enough to start working on it. You know what I mean? The initial fear is gone, and you're at a moderate level. You can become moderate at something within 20 hours. But how do I apply it here, right? How do I tackle a new piece of software? So now there's a new software. I want to learn it, right? I want to learn that software. What I would do is I would pick up an artwork, a personal artwork, as I said before. I like personal works. I would pick up a personal artwork and literally start doing that personal artwork in the new software right away. No bullshit learning, no reading 200 pages. As I said before, I'm too lazy to learn any books or whatnot. I would literally take small tasks. Okay, let me take a small task, like, for example, let me model something quickly. So then I will look for tutorials on just doing that specific task. I want to extrude something. How do I extrude this in this software?
Got it.
Simple. You can do the same thing in your other jobs, because I was a software engineer before, and it was the same deal there. There's a new language every single time. Like, there's a new language coming in, you have to do web development, you have to do this, you have to do that. So every interactive platform has a different language, their own APIs, So what you have to do is you just start developing software, right? Start developing your code right away. Then just see the syntax, how this code can be done in this language. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So it's simple. It's just, you just dive into something right away, and then learn only those specific things which is needed at that point. That's one thing. And then another thing, how to tackle
I have a question on this. So when you are stuck at some point, like now you are learning a new software, right? So when you're stuck at somewhere, how you cope with that? How you come out from there?
Right. That's a really good question, because I kind of missed that point. Yeah. I would say, so when you're stuck, right? The best answer is Google. Best answer is Google. That's the first thing I do. I search this thing. Okay, how do I extrude in 3ds Max? Or how do I extrude in Houdini, for example? Right? Or I would maybe even look for a specific tutorial. Like, you know what I mean? Like okay, I want to make a arc. I want to model an arc. How do I do it in Houdini? If there's a tutorial right like that in Houdini, I can just go and see that tutorial quickly. 5-10 minutes tutorial, do that, done. Move ahead. I'm not gonna learn entire modeling there. I'm just gonna learn how to do that arc and move ahead.
Yeah.
That's it. So this builds your confidence way faster than learning a software from scratch. Believe me. It's
Got
gonna
it.
be super fast way of learning. And then another important point from that same book, I would say, or same TED talk, I would say, is when there is a huge task, right? Like uh, as I said before, okay, if a guy wants to do a futuristic city, for example, a huge ass city, and there is insane amount of details going on. There's like a lot of culture. There is a lot of lighting issues. There is a lot of this, like a lot of challenges. So so it could be like, again, this task could be applied to any profession or any other part of your life. So this is my funda. This is my mantra, right? Whenever there is something big in your life, first thing I do before doing anything else, break it down into pieces. Right away, break it down into pieces. Okay, this is this big environment. How can I divide into parts? Okay, first part is, maybe I will not think about anything else. I won't think about lighting. I won't think about textures. I won't think about anything else. Not even modeling. I would just think about layout at the beginning.
Got it.
So, okay, even layout is hard. What I will do is just put blocks, just put cubes, just put cylinders, just put pyramids, whatnot. Just do it. Like very basic layout, very extremely basic, as basic as you go, as it can be. And then, okay, now once you know that this is the layout, I'm happy with this layout, then maybe, okay, now one task is gone, your stress will be reduced a bit.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't seem that big anymore. You know what I mean? Like, you have a little bit more confidence now.
Yeah.
The next task could be, okay, I want to focus on only lighting, only lighting. So I'm just gonna turn off everything. I will probably render everything in gray shaded, and I'll start putting like one light at a time, simple task, one light at a time. It could be 100 lights needed, but just one at a time, slightly focus on one area. As soon as you're happy, your confidence increases.
Yeah.
And okay, even if that is hard, go even further, break it down even further.
Got it.
So that is my answer for everything. Keep breaking down. Break it down. If it's still hard, break it down more. So make those modules. It could be anything in life. Like, it could be meditation is hard for you.
Yeah.
Break it down into smaller pieces. Meditate for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Slowly progress.
Yeah.
Anything in life can be cracked. It's easy with this approach. So I would definitely recommend this TED talk. I forgot his name is Josh, I think, but I forgot his.
You can send me the link. I will add later in the description.
Definitely. I would also recommend something. So this is for advanced skill set, I would say, more for an advanced skill set. But now I'm talking about crossing the boundaries of your normal box thinking, like having something out of box.
Okay.
Now, how do you come up with these things, right? Something extraordinary.
Yeah.
How to target those things. There is a way for everything, right? Like, again, there is a TED talk, a lot of TED talks on this. There is research on psychology, which you can study, the latest ones. There's a term in psychology called as flow. You must have heard of it. It's called as a state of flow.
Flow. Okay.
So yeah, you must have seen interviews from many great musicians or artists all over the world, or big personalities.
Okay.
If you see their talks, there is one thing common. You can ask them if you ask them, when are you happiest, right? What makes you happy, or when are you the happiest? They would say something similar where, like, for example, a musician would say, I am happiest when I'm composing the music in such a way that even I stop existing.
Forgetting about our existence, right?
Yeah, it's like being in a state of flow where your skill sets are matched with your type of work. when it matches perfectly, right? There is you go in a state which is such a it's in a such a flow, like a flow of water, right? You're flowing in such a way that you forget that you exist. You're not even aware of your existence.
Got it.
That is my personal goal. I'm not in that state, of course, all the time, but I've reached these states in some points of my life, and I would suggest to look for that in future for anyone who's trying to level up. So I would say. Uh, so another question would be how to go in that state, right? I mean, I can talk about this forever, but I would just conclude in a small brief, small brief way. So this is the theory behind it, right? You when your skill set is not good enough for the task, when your skill set is less than the task, like really less, like there's a huge difference between the skill required and what skill you have, then you give up hope. It's too much gap. Too much gap. So you won't be able to reach this point. You will give up, or you will be demotivated. That's why a lot of people have art blocks. You know what I mean? They are suddenly they cannot produce new work, or something is stopping them, but they don't know what it is. This is called as art block. So that happens when your skill set is way less than your task, right? But when your skill set is way higher than the task is required, that means it's a simple task. Your skill sets are way more. Then you get bored.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is you don't want to be in this state either. When there's a simple task, you get bored, and then you might do even something stupid, some silly mistakes, because you're not paying attention. You don't care about this task anymore.
Got it.
So how to balance that? So when this happens, right, be aware of your task and your skill set. That could be your strongest point. If you're able to do that, that could be your strongest point. As soon as you know that your skill set is less than the task, try to break it down again, as we talked before. Task is harder, break it down to pieces. The smaller task, okay, this task is easier. Now the skill set is matched.
Got it.
I will do this task. Now, okay, I can push it more. Then I can push it more. So how to be in flow now? There will be times when you're able to calibrate your skill set exactly with your task level. That time this happens.
Got it.
You literally go into the state of meditation while working.
Yeah.
It's insane. There is nothing more satisfying than this experience.
Got it.
So that is like the best tip I can give to a lot of artists out there who are facing art blocks, or who are having are demotivated or stressed out. This is the way to simplify your life, I would say.
Yep. Very inspiring, man. Very deep, I would say.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, this is because I've faced this problem so many times in my life.
Got it.
And that's why I keep like TED Talk is amazing, I would say. Like just amazing people there giving you amazing ideas. I will also share this link.
Yeah, please. Yeah. I will add that in the description of the video, so it might help many.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Got it. So we have came through the 10 questions we finished. So my last question is I hope you check my YouTube channel. So just want to know if there are any suggestions or ideas, or all those deep ideas I can improve with my content.
I mean, right off the bat, I would say what you're doing is already a huge step in our industry, I would say. Especially for Indian people. I mean, for everyone in the world. I would not just localize it to Indian people. But I have seen some of your videos, like how to study abroad and all these, small little things. And I personally get these questions from so many students. Like I have literally at least 2 new people approaching me with these same questions. What you asked me today, almost same questions. And it's some. I mean, I like it that people are asking me these questions, and I would love to help people as much as possible. But sometimes you're facing deadlines and you're super busy, and also imagine answering the same questions for 7 years.
Yeah,
right? 7 years I'm answering the same question to different new people. It gets kind of boring. So what you're doing is a tremendous help for me, at least.
Yes,
and I'm pretty
I was
sure,
thinking that.
and I'm pretty sure it's really, really good help for all these new people coming in the industry and who want to study in Canada, or who want to move abroad and level up and
Mhm.
all these
Yeah.
good things. Like I'm actually thankful that you're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super happy with your
Yeah,
channel.
I'm just trying to help those people who wants to follow their passion.
Right.
So just helping it out through this podcast.
No, man, that's really noble cause.
Got it.
I as we talked about this before, like I'm not sure if you'll make tons of money out of your channel, or you can it will go like super big or whatnot. I don't know about that, but I'm pretty sure you're already helping a lot of people,
People. Yeah.
and that's really satisfying thing what you're
Thank,
doing,
thank
I
you,
would
man.
say.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So I will add all the LinkedIn
Mhm.
station and all this link in the description of this video. So anyone wants to check that, please check over there. And finally, so thanks a lot, Rohit, for taking time to do this podcast. And I appreciate this time, mate. So on a final note, anything you would like to share or any comments?
I would say just keep doing this, man. I would love to come to your channel again. And I know the time was really less, and the amount of information I would like to talk about, or I would also like to know your point of view and
Mhm.
your views on, like all on VFX and industry as
Mhm.
a whole. And I would love to do that too someday
Yeah.
if you're free or whatnot. We can
Sure,
do this
sure,
again sometime.
sure, sure.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed the
Got
time
it.
with
Got
you
it.
right now.
Got it.
Thank you for
So,
having me.
so once again, thanks a lot for the time, like, and thanks all for joining with us. So stay safe.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.